Oh, and what I was going to tell you is I couldn't find it on my little phone, so I went to the website where I'm building the newsletter, and on my little phone, it's all it will show me is the HTML. So I might just like throw some HTML in there for you. So here's something funny. That Yoda joke was much funnier than this, but this is funny to me. On my to-do list for 2015, back in January, I had a list of things to finish. And in big letters, no new projects this year. Finish. So brackets H1, which means major heading. Ha, 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 ha. It's like I forgot the main theme of my life, plagued my muses. So I try to be responsive to my muse, and unfortunately I have 9 of them. I try to be responsive to them all, but I think when Kimberly came up here and read that, and I heard her beautiful prose, I just felt like, I'm so glad I'm here. This is what my life's about, is really enjoying the beauty of words. So in January, I premiered a new and unusual work, a florid romantic poem about global warming that was projected on a screen while a concert pianist played Invocation by Franz Liszt. My friendship with the pianist Daniel Finnemore is based almost entirely on our mutual friendship with muses. In June, we performed Invocation again in a project called Invoking the Muses, right here, at which I showcased all of the ancient muses, the Greek muses, but also invented some new modern muses, like Tweetia, muse of social media, YouTubia, muse of short film. My muses were there for me when my trip to Italy took a strange turn. All is revealed in my blog, 10 Days and 10 Pounds, Kristen and Jenny go to Italy.blogspot.com. The 33 posts I wrote about my eight-day trip, which I took alone because my traveling companion had to go have brain surgery instead. And then my muses made me write a 20,000-word sci-fi fantasy inspired by an unchaperoned night at Carnivale, which is under consideration by publishers. Ryan, please cross your fingers for me. Muses love this. You give them energy by saying, make it happen. Everything came together for one wonderful moment in September when I brought creative friends together to launch The Soles of Her Feet, my first novella, which came out in paperback after 2 years as an ebook and emerging for a year as a book that you blog first. You all know that. The event was held in Leia Voss's living room. Did you know, by the way, that the word salon came from sala, the Italian word for living room? And her living room has been home base for my musical, which is now sadly backburnered. Leia decorates her house with shoes, and the evening was filled with stories about where our favorite footwear has taken us in life. You can book me for a shoe salon in your living room, by the way. Invite all your friends to wear their favorite shoes. Shortly after that, somewhere in there, I invented the hashtag Muse Day. Tuesday's my favorite day because that's the day I set aside for my creative projects. So you can all feel free in joining me when you make something happen. It doesn't matter what day it is. Hashtag Muse Day. I did this. I'm writing. Shortly after that, I found myself speaking to a large audience at Mills College about Inside the Mills Revolution, a cartoon collection I made after the 1990 student strike there. As it turns out, this was a kind of historical event, in addition to hysterical to me. You have to hear the wordplay there on hysteria and women. And guess what? They're now making a documentary out of it because it actually has something to say about today's mood of revolution and doing it right and getting what you want. And guess what else? The producer, Hollywood's own Alexa Pagonis to the Stars, asked to feature my cartoons in the documentary. I also learned in September that my book, The Bullying Antidote, was going into print. Apparently, bullying is no longer hashtag trending. Doesn't mean the problem's solved, though. I managed to bring the 3,000 remaining copies back to Oakland. With plans to republish the book, I started the Zorgos Project, which will donate the 3,000 copies to parents in Oakland, in our churches, schools, workplaces, and other communities who will read it together. So I'm creating a citywide book group with a nonprofit called Oakland Parents Together. So we can really change the cultural dynamic of what happens to our kids in schools. The Muses wouldn't leave me at home either. Our bathroom now boasts a swirly vintage sink and a hard-plumbed gray water system. My son went away to college, so I redid the bathroom. Had to put my home energy somewhere. The color I chose for the walls, a dark blue named Deep Breath. And somewhere in the swirly creative madness, another creative friendship florist with haiku poet Amos White, who is married to an Italian whose last name is Sala. He invited me to co-produce his ongoing Salon for Creatives, The Heart of the Muse, which explores the question, what inspires those who inspire us? I am so inspired. And the year ended with a fabulous family outing. After seeing OK Go in March and Florence and the Machine in October, we sat in an arena filled with the sounds of, do you want to guess what band? Kimberly? Muse. Which brings us to where I began my story. My goal for 2016 is to get all these new creative ducks in a row and teach them to quack in harmony. What is yours? Thank you.
I want to make things clear about the credit for organizing this place. I had nothing to do with it. Kimberly and Madeline did it on their own.
So,
And
I'll give you a
Madeline,
copy of that.
she knows the chef personally.